you lose motivation, even after watching countless self-improvement videos. What if the real difference between winners and losers had nothing to do with talent or intelligence? In this video, I'll share 6 proven mindset shifts backed by psychology and real-world success patterns that quietly separate winners from everyone else. Research shows that the most successful people aren't always the smartest or the most gifted. In fact, studies from Stanford University found that long-term success depends more on mindset and daily behavior than raw talent. I discovered this when I noticed something strange. The people who kept winning in life weren't perfect. They just thought differently. The problem is, most people focus on motivation, while winners focus on systems. Most people wait to feel ready, while winners act before they feel confident. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what separates winners from losers in everyday life, and how you can start thinking like a winner starting today. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The biggest difference between winners and losers shows up after something goes wrong. Losers blame circumstances. They blame bad luck, bad timing, or other people. Winners pause, learn from the situation, and ask one powerful question: what could I do better next time? Research from psychologist Julian Rotter found that people with an internal locus of control perform better in school, business, and relationships. This means they believe their actions influence outcomes, and that belief changes everything. This works because your brain becomes solution-focused instead of problem-focused. Instead of wasting energy complaining, winners use that energy to adapt. Here's how to apply this. First, stop saying "this always happens to me." Replace it with "what can I learn from this?" Second, after every mistake, write down one thing you could improve. Third, avoid blaming people instantly, even when they're partly wrong. And finally, focus only on what you can control. For instance, instead of saying "I failed because life is unfair," try saying "I need a better strategy." That small shift changes your future. Because responsibility alone isn't enough. Most people don't know this, but confidence usually comes after action, not before it. Losers wait for perfect timing. Winners start scared, uncertain, and messy. They understand that progress creates confidence. Think of it like learning to swim. You can watch tutorials forever, but eventually you must enter the water. Research from Harvard Business School found that action reduces fear faster than overthinking does. Your brain treats movement as proof that danger is manageable. This is why winners seem fearless. The truth is, they just move before fear grows bigger. Here's how you apply this. First, use the 2-minute rule. If something takes less than 2 minutes to start, begin immediately. Second, lower the pressure. Don't aim for perfect, aim for started. Third, create deadlines before you feel ready. And fourth, remember that messy action beats perfect planning. For example, instead of waiting until you feel confident enough to start a business, post the first video, create the first design, or make the first sale today. Now you might be thinking, what if I fail? Good, because this brings us to the next secret. Winners and losers experience failure completely differently. Losers see failure as proof they're not good enough. Winners see failure as feedback. That tiny difference completely changes how they live. Thomas Edison famously tested thousands of versions before creating the light bulb. When asked about failure, he said he discovered thousands of ways that didn't work. Research from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck shows that people with a growth mindset recover faster, learn faster, and achieve more over time. This works because your brain becomes less afraid of mistakes. Instead of protecting your ego, you start collecting lessons. Here's how to apply this mindset. First, stop calling yourself a failure. You failed at something, you are not a failure. Second, after every setback, ask, what did this teach me? Third, keep a failure journal where you record lessons instead of embarrassment. And fourth, remember that every expert once looked stupid in the beginning. For instance, instead of quitting after one rejected idea, improve it and try again. But wait, there's more to this. because even failure doesn't matter if you quit too early. Here's the part nobody talks about. Motivation is unreliable. Losers work when they feel inspired. Winners build routines that keep moving, even on bad days. This is why average people with consistency often outperform talented people with inconsistency. Research published in the European Journal of Social Psychology found that habits reduce mental effort. In simple terms, routines help you act without constantly fighting yourself. This works because discipline removes emotional decision-making. Winners don't wake up asking, "Do I feel like it today?" They already decided yesterday. Here's how to build consistency. First, shrink your goals. Read 1 page instead of 50. Do 5 push-ups instead of skipping the workout. Second, track streaks visually. Third, remove friction from good habits. Put your workout clothes ready the night before. And fourth, never miss twice. For example, if you skip one productive day, recover immediately tomorrow instead of spiraling for weeks. Thousands of successful students, athletes, and creators use this exact strategy because consistency compounds quietly over time. And this leads directly into the next difference. Most people sacrifice the future to feel comfortable today. Winners do the opposite. They sacrifice temporary comfort to create a better future. Think about it like planting a tree. For months, nothing seems to happen, but underground, the roots are growing stronger every single day. Research from Stanford's famous marshmallow experiment showed that people who delayed gratification often achieved better outcomes later in life. This works because winners train their brains to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term pleasure. Here's how you apply this. First, ask yourself before every decision, will this help my future self? Second, reduce distractions that steal time. Third, focus on compounding habits like reading, learning, saving money, or exercising. And fourth, stop chasing overnight success. For instance, instead of binge-watching for 5 hours every night, spend just 30 minutes building a skill that could change your future. Now here's the final secret, and it might be the most powerful one of all. Most people quit too early to see results. That's it. That's the secret. The difference between winners and losers often isn't intelligence, money, or talent. It's endurance. Winners survive the boring phase, the invisible phase, the phase where nobody claps for them. Research on high achievers repeatedly shows that persistence predicts success more accurately than talent alone. Because in real life, consistency over years beats intensity for 1 week. This works because momentum eventually compounds. Tiny improvements repeated daily create massive transformation over time. Here's how to build persistence. First, expect slow progress in the beginning. Second, stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Third, celebrate small wins to maintain momentum. And fourth, remember why you started when things get difficult. For example, when your progress feels invisible, remind yourself that roots grow before trees appear. And if you've watched this far, you already have something most people don't: the willingness to improve. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, winners take responsibility. Number 2, winners act before feeling ready. Number 3, winners learn from failure. Number 4, winners stay consistent. Number 5, winners think long-term. And number 6, winners keep going when others quit. Remember, transformation doesn't happen overnight. Winners aren't born different. They simply build different habits and different ways of thinking over time. You already have everything you need to start changing your life. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is the actions you repeat every single day. Don't wait until another year passes feeling stuck. Start with one tiny action today. One decision, one habit, one uncomfortable step forward. I promise you, months from now, you'll look back and realize this was the moment things started changing. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more self-improvement videos like this. Drop a comment below telling me which difference between winners and losers hit you the hardest today. And if you want to learn how to build unstoppable discipline, check out the next video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.